Welcome to Lone Star College Football. Tonight we are talking about the Roadrunners going on the road to DKR to face the Texas Longhorns. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and give it to our in-studio host, Christian Harrington.
Yeah, man. I've been looking at this game all week, trying to figure out what our matchups are, where we need to focus on. And it's kind of hard to do whenever you don't know which players are going to be available and which players aren't going to be available. I made a video last night talking about the quarterback situation. Basically, what I said seems to be right. Everything except for I called Charles Wright a walk on, and apparently he is a scholarship quarterback. So
Okay.
makes me feel about that much better about the whole situation. Malik Murphy should be healthy, but he hurt his wrist, I think is what I saw, riding a scooter around campus. So he's got to be kicking himself right now. Uh, you're the third string. You're a former five-star quarterback who should be stepping in right now to take over the lead quarterback position at the University of Texas. He
Yo,
got hurt on a scooter. Um,
told him to
but
stay
with
with
that
the
being
keep
said,
foot.
we're gonna let Charles Wright go out there. Is what it seems like, and let him try to sling this ball. Hopefully, not too much. Hopefully, we rely on a running game. Bijan Robinson, I think, as they said, his shoulder was kind of banged up after last week, but from the sound of it, he's been running with the ones all week.
That was good.
Hopefully, he's 100%. My problem with the whole situation is I know Bijan. I don't know no Bijan. I shook his hand, but I don't know him. But I know that he seems like the kind of team player that even if he's 80%, he's gonna fake it till he makes it and go out and give 100. And I hope that's not the case because I don't mind letting him sit. Let Roshan take it.
Yeah.
And, in the fourth quarter, if we're needing him, go ahead and come on in for that. But there's no point in giving you the whole game. And kind of what I expect to see is Bijan starting if he's ready. But I would expect more rotation. They rotate enough already, but I expect more of that. But getting into UTSA's offense, their
Yeah.
quarterback, Frank Harris, doesn't seem bad.
Mm-mm.
60 of 88 for almost 700, six touchdowns and a pick. Pretty efficient.
In
Moving the
two
sticks.
games.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know who
He's
they played.
also,
I don't know who all they played. I think they played Houston.
yeah, they played Houston in week one and then they played Army last week. And they
Oh
beat
yeah.
Army. They lost to Houston by 2 and then beat Army in overtime. They lost to Houston in 3 overtimes, beat Army in overtime by a field goal, but they were down like 28-14 at one point in that game. Came back and won it.
Wow.
Frank Harris is also their leading rusher. He has 16 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown. Um, he just seems like he's just their dynamic player on offense. So if our defense can do what we did last week and get pressure the way we did last week, we should be fine.
Yeah.
If we can collapse the pocket on him over and over and over again and contain him when he does scramble, I'm not concerned with anybody. I mean, their running back, Bradley, 25 for 87, 3.5 yards per carry. Pretty good. You do that 3 times and you've got a first down.
That's pretty
Same
solid.
thing with their other running back. But that's against Houston and Army. That's not against Texas. And if Texas, the
True.
same defense rolls out this week that showed up last week, their running backs will probably average 1.5 yards per carry. Um, yeah,
This matchup might be pretty good. Out on the edge, Zakari Franklin. 6'1", 185 receiver. He's a senior. Dude has 20 receptions for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. That Houston defense is actually kind of pretty good. Like they got some athletic secondary for sure. I don't think they have the size as far as the front seven, but they got
yeah,
athletes on the outside for sure. And for him to go out there and be able to do that against them and Navy. Let's see what his stats were for that first game
against
if I can
Army.
find it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
Army.
concerns me about their receivers is they're tall. Like Franklin's 6'1", but Cephas and Clark are both 6'3". Deshaun Jameson is
Yeah,
undersized. He's like 5'9", 5'10" for corner. Ryan Watts is a big corner, though. So depending on how they line up and where they're matched up on our guys, there might be some good 50-50 balls that get thrown in by Frank Harris to UTSA and see if they're able to jump up 50-50. One thing I just know for sure is Deshaun Jameson is a dog.
yeah.
He may be shorter and undersized, but he has a knack for finding the ball, getting his head around, and putting hands on the ball. Um, Now, with that being said, I have seen him get burnt and get mossed. I've seen that. So
Yeah, that's where that height comes in, especially on those 50-50 balls. That when you're going against somebody that's half a foot taller than you, it's a little bit harder to get up there and get those 50-50 jump balls.
yeah,
Which isn't a knock on him at all because I mean you can't really do much about it. Like y'all are both going to be freak athletes. You're both Division I football players, right? So it's one of those things that okay, you can't really help being short.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not calling him short compared to me or you because we're the same height, but dude's 2 inches shorter than us. I'm sure he's a lot more athletic than us, but whenever you're going against other D1 athletes, it's different. But
yeah.
yeah, I
He's
think Franklin.
5'10", 187. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he's only just short, tall, inch shorter than us. But that's Corey Franklin. I mean, his stats look pretty good. And then the dude under him is 17 receptions for 218 yards and one touchdown.
yeah,
Not bad, dude. These receivers actually look pretty good. And I think that I don't know if it's because they're getting open or if Harris is that good. I mean, he's got right under 70% so far this year.
yeah.
Um,
He's slinging the rock pretty well. 6 touchdowns and 1 interception too.
he's
He makes
he's
safe
also
plays.
he's also taken 7 sacks.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So those will
Uh,
actually go into his rushing attempts too.
yeah. So he's got even more rushing yards than we think.
Yeah, he's got minus 37 sack yards.
Wow.
So that puts him at like 120 yards on what 9 attempts. If I'm doing the math right, it's somewhere
Yeah, it's
around there,
somewhere in there.
which is
Letting
pretty
that
good.
that's yeah. Letting that lead us into Texas's offense. Let's just go ahead and start in the QB room where we have a big fat 0 for stats. We have nothing on Charles Wright. He's played 6 snaps at the University of Texas. They were all 6 against Texas Tech last season when we won 70-30. All 6 of them, he handed the ball to the running back. So,
Not even one pass to the dude.
oh,
Come on now.
uh, nope. I don't believe he came in week 1. He might have. He might have actually done that. I don't think he did. But regardless, like I said, he is a scholarship player. I thought he was a walk on. He is a scholarship player. He had offers. I was listening to a podcast, I think, by Orange Bloods today. Y'all go check them out on YouTube. Um, he did have offers from Arkansas, Iowa State, UTSA gave him an offer. So I mean, having a team like Arkansas give you an offer and Texas give you an offer, he wasn't. He was a sought after recruit, so he has talent, and I've seen him throw
Yeah,
the ball in person.
it
He
looks like
put a
he was
good
a
spin on it.
looks like he was a 3 star.
Yeah,
Which it was a 8.57 3 star. I'm not huge on
yeah,
recruiting. Like I just started looking at it this year. I'm not exactly sure how that is. But he's
I
from
got you
Austin,
into it.
so it's a pretty good chance that no, I mean it says he committed, so they must have gave him an offer.
Yeah, he is a. They offered it was him and Jalen Milrow that year. They were the two quarterbacks in the class. Jalen Milroe ended up decommitting and going to Bama when
Mm,
what happened? Quinn Ewers committed to Texas. Jalen Milroe decommitted, goes to Bama, and then Quinn decommits, go to Ohio State. So Charles Wright was the only quarterback we had in that draft or in that recruiting cycle.
yeah,
Um, but
but I mean, he's from
now he's going to
Austin,
get the
so
start.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was a walk on that got a scholarship. But
He might
two
be.
247 is saying that he committed back in 2020. So
Yeah.
over Iowa State, Arkansas, Louisiana, and North Carolina State. So I mean,
I'm
he
excited
he
for
had
him.
offers. I'm
I
excited
hope,
to see him too.
I just hope, I hope the game plays out in a way where he could throw the ball 15 times.
I want to see it, dude. I want to see him. I want to see how good his connections are with Zay. For sure. I
I'm
think
sure
Xavier
they've
Worthy is
been,
one of those talents that are kind of like you can pretty much line anybody out there and you can get them the ball.
I hope
Like
so.
once you work with them a couple of days, just to get to where you know his speed. Because
I
that's one
hope
thing
so.
about having non experienced players come in at quarterback. So you're not going to know the receiver speeds, how far you need to lob the ball out, how high they can jump if there's a 50-50 ball. Like that'll be a good thing to look at. I think the second half they'll start throwing the ball a lot more. So I'm thinking the first half is going to be more like a kind of all right, get
Yeah,
jitters over with, everything like that.
probably. Um, well, leading that leads us into our rushing game because that's really what's going to carry us this game. Bijan Robinson, 31 attempts, 128 yards, 4.1 average, which for him is low, but considering we played Bama last week,
Yeah,
I'm counting that as a dub. Uh, he's got 2 touchdowns. Right underneath him is Roshan, 10 carries, 50 yards, 5 point average. That's Roshan being Roshan. That's why I was confused before when we thought Bijan was injured. I kept hearing Texas fans concerned because Bijan wasn't going to play. And it was like they were scared that Roshan Johnson would be the starter. And I'm like, do y'all not watch this guy run?
I'll
Like
take
this
him.
dude, yeah. Roshan Johnson would probably start in most.
He would probably start in
Deuce
Waco
Vaughn, Deuce Vaughn is probably the only other running back other than Bijan who would start over Roshan
in the Big
in
12.
the Big 12. And in the country, there's probably less than 10 teams that he wouldn't be the best running back on the roster.
Hey man, if y'all
Plus,
don't
with
want
his
him, I'll take him.
versatility, yeah, his versatility, I guarantee all y'all, you're waiting for the Wildcat. It'll happen. And I'm just hoping, please, Sark, let him sling one.
He,
Let him sling
this is
one.
actually a pretty good opportunity to do that
No,
this
if
week.
they run the ball enough, my one of my predictions is that we're gonna have one drive where we see Charles Wright. He's gonna hand the ball off 3 times in a row. It's gonna be a first down. Whenever we get the first down, on first down, he'll hand the ball off again. We're gonna get 7 or more yards, and then that fifth play will be a play action over the top Xavier Worthy touchdown. That is a prediction of mine. I want to see that exact script. I want to see 3 rushes
You've
for
been
a first
talking. You've
down.
been talking. You've been talking to Sarkeesian, haven't you?
No, this is what I got to think about all day at work by myself today is what are we going to do? We have to, if we're going to lean on the running game, that's fine, but you can't just lean on the running game and run. UTSA will adjust to that. You need to lean on the running game and then hit them with play action and make them respect the passing game so they can't just drop 8 or 9 in the box and cover 2 or cover 3. They have to actually, all right, we're going to have 6 or 7 in the box, but we're going to have to drop 4 or 5 in coverage to keep the Texas offense from just doing. I mean, if we don't have an offensive script where we've got the quarterback and 2 running backs out, like what is that, a wing formation? I don't know, where we're like fake here, handy here, fake here, handy here. You in motion, fake here, throw it. I mean,
Yeah. Get some
I don't want to
RPO
do.
bubbles.
I don't want too much RPO. I don't want here and slants because that's where quarterbacks who don't know how to do that right throw picks. But I'll
Yeah,
gladly take a bubble screen RPO. Uh, I just want to see. I want to see Sark. He's really good at game planning for teams, and I want to see how creative can he be with a quarterback who's even more. We thought Quinn was inexperienced. This guy's even more inexperienced and less talented. How creative can you be where you can create a game plan that's complex enough to be useful against your team that you're playing against, but not too complex that you take Charles Wright out of the game completely?
yeah, true. Um, how's Brooks looking? Like is he somebody that would be able to come in and be like a secondary back this game if Bijan sits out?
Brooks would not. He wouldn't be our second back if Bijan sits out because it'd be Roshan and then Keelan Robinson is actually our
Okay.
third string,
Yeah, I was
and
just
Keelan
looking at
Robinson.
the rushing attempts. That's why I said
Yeah,
Brooks. I forgot about
yeah.
Keelan.
We're kind of at that point in the season where Jonathan Brooks got he got 2 series in week 1, so he did that in 2 series.
Oh, okay.
And Keelan only got one because we kind of knew what he could do. We were trying to get those 4 deep in. And
Gotcha.
then last week was last week, so nobody. It was just Bijan and Roshan the whole game. I would love to see Keelan Robinson out there. In fact, this is a great game where you should probably line Keelan up in the slot because he's stupid fast.
Yeah.
Let him go. I mean, at this point, you got to lean on your playmakers. And if your third string running back is one of your fastest, most explosive players, put him on the field.
For
Don't
sure.
get me wrong. I want to see Xavier and Jordan and Jatavian Sanders and Casey K. I want to see all these guys get catches. But if you're telling me we could have either Xavier, Jordan, and Jatavian, and then our fourth, or that's 2 receivers and a tight end. If we have a fourth receiver, you could either put Casey Kane, who's a bigger guy, but he's not as fast, or Keelan, who could burn you deep. I want to burn you deep.
Dude, I just
Um,
looked at y'all's roster. Malik Murphy is 6'5".
Yeah, Malik Murphy, he's a big dude. I wanted him to play so bad. I think he's gonna be good, man. There's a part of me that doesn't like I want as deep and as talented of a quarterback room as we can have. But if he never sees the field,
Yeah, that could just
I'm gonna
be
be
one of those
upset.
things.
Malik Murphy, I hope he can transfer somewhere and be productive because I
I'll
think
take
he's
him.
gonna be a good quarterback. Honestly, if we're not in the Big 12 anymore, I'd love to see him go to Waco.
That'd be dope.
Our defense this game, we've got 5 sacks and 1 interception on the season, as well as y'all with that one pick. I think we have 2 forced fumbles though. We need turnovers, and I don't think their quarterback's gonna want to do it, so we're gonna have to go and take them. Deshaun Jameson dropped a pick last week. Um, Sacks, we need more. So I'll go ahead and do this. So my offensive bold predictions was 200 plus rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. I think we're going to lean on our running backs on mainly those starting 3 enough to where we can get 200 or more yards with 4 touchdowns. On the defense, I did 5 sacks. Now, I've only got 5 on the season. So why 5? I've seen reports. I think it's for sure their left tackle is out, starting left tackle
Mhm.
out for the game. And I'm pretty sure their starting right tackle is also going to be out. Uh, those tackle positions are important. When you've got Baron Sorrell, who's leading our team with 1.5 sacks on one side of the ball, and on the other side of the ball, you've got either Ethan Burke coming off the end or DeMarvion Overshone blitzing off the edge. Not having those 2 tackles can be big. We know we've all seen the blind side. Tackle is the most important position on the offensive line.
Yeah,
Without those guys, it's going to be a long game.
that's why they get paid the
I'm
most.
right. We're leaning on them. My score prediction is 34-17. And I think that 17 is going to be garbage time touchdown. I think Texas will be up by at least 34-10. And then I think probably late in the game, we've got some of our 2 or 3 deep in, and they probably score one more on us. I'm not taking Texas by too much. I was fearful of even putting 34 on there, just because of our offense. How is he going to do? You have to expect there's going to be a turnover, and I think that's probably how they get one of their touchdowns. Is Charles Wright throwing a bad pick on our own side of the 50, and they're able to take a short field and benefit off of that. So if he can come out, if you tell me right now that we have no turnovers, I feel really good about our chances. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
So my bold predictions, I'm gonna start off with your offense. I put Roshan having a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown.
Ooh,
I
I
want to see
like
that
that.
happen.
I
That'd be
like it.
dope.
Picasso, man.
You're probably not gonna like my defensive one.
Uh-oh.
Defensive one was I don't hearing what you said about their offensive line. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I said defense gives up 200 passing yards.
Hmm.
I think that y'all are gonna be worried about him escaping the pocket or finding a gap and running it. So y'all are going to be more worried about him than dropping a linebacker into a coverage over the middle of the field. So they
Yeah, I
might be able
mean,
to find those posts.
considering he has 700 passing yards in 2 games, it's
That's why I said
probably
200.
likely. It's
Yeah,
probably likely. I mean, if our defensive line can get after them, maybe we can hold them, but we'll
yeah.
see.
But I put the score at 28-14. I mean, I think he'll be able to get passing yards, but I don't think they'll score on most of on those big plays. I think y'all will be able to stop them in the red zone for the
Yeah,
most
so
part.
you're picking us to cover the 11-point spread and +3. I'm picking us by 17. So 11 points and 4
Yeah, I
or
was gonna put
6.
you at
So
like
yeah, we're pretty
32,
close.
and then I was like,
It's
Christian
hard
talked
to
me out
do
of
because
it. Yeah,
I don't know if our quarterback is even going to throw a touchdown. I mean, I hope he does, dude. It's his
true.
only. It might be his only start. I really hope he does. Like, because here's my thing about Hudson Card. You can't tell me Hudson Card couldn't start this game. I mean, he was hurt and he played 3 quarters hurt. It's been a week. Surely he feels better
Been like
now than he did a
three and a
week
half
ago.
quarters.
Right. So I'm not buying that he can't play. I think it's kind of he's not healthy. Our coaching staff probably is pretty confident we can get it done with Charles Wright. So
Yeah,
let's do that. Honestly, would not be surprised at all in third or fourth quarter if we're not winning, or at least winning by enough where we feel comfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in anyways. Like I think he'll be dressed out on the sideline. There's
yeah,
also a small
probably.
part of me that wonders, is this all just talk? In my mind, there's a small part of me that bets Malik Murphy takes the field.
I want to
And
see
Coach
that.
Sark says, no, he's not healthy. Charles Wright's going to be our guy. And so UTSA spends all week preparing for Charles Wright, and then
And then Malik
Malik Murphy
Murphy's
takes the field.
giant self walks out
I'd
on the
love it.
field.
I'd love it so much.
I want to
But
see him
we'll
play.
see. Maybe I'm predicting that right now. We'll see. Maybe I'll manifest it. I don't know. But with that being said, guys, we appreciate y'all. Y'all do us a favor, like the video, drop us a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what we can do better on these videos. Let us know any topics y'all want us to talk about. We are going to do a giveaway at 25 subscribers, or a $25 giveaway at 100 subscribers. We are over halfway there. So y'all join us for that. Y'all can follow him at L Patterson _3. You can follow me at Christian H _88. You can follow our channel on Twitter at Lone Star _CFB. Appreciate y'all.